How's it going, everybody? Welcome aboard. I am your conductor today. Every like, you get 5 big whistles. Anyways, we're going down the tracks of gaming sucks now, and that's a good thing. Let's get right into it. This one's by Polly Walnuts. All right. Anyways, here we go.
I just realized the PS6 comes out next year, and I don't care. It feels like I barely got to use my PS5. I remember when I finally got that email that it was ready for pickup at Best Buy. The hype was so crazy, I had to hit up my boy and be like, yo.
What the heck is this picture? There's somebody... This is a scalp. This looks like a scalper type image.
Help me get this shit back home, because walking around
Bro,
with
needs a tier 1 escort to get that PS5 home.
PS5 at that point was like dangerous. That's how crazy the demand was. People were getting mugged. But now this generation's already over, and it's like, damn, like that was it, huh? I'm gaming less, my friends are gaming less. One of my favorite hobbies isn't hitting anymore. Is it me? Like, did I change, or did the games change? And I also want to talk about how either way, this is a good thing. So let's start with the games.
So this is a video about why gaming sucks now, and that's a good thing. This is an interesting take.
Gaming, like a lot of other previously fun shit to do, seems to have gone down in quality as stockholder value has gone up. Bigger studios with bigger budgets pumping out bigger pieces of dog shit.
Right there on the head. Gaming used to be passion projects. Now it is a corporate greed project. They don't do it for the love of the game. They do it for the love of money.
You know, Fortnite.
That is why all this stuff is slop. Most of it is slop.
As much as I love that game in 2017, did irreversible damage to the gaming industry. Like the way that business is conducted with video games is different now. I mean, look at Call of Duty. It's an easy...
Fortnite definitely influenced Call of Duty big time with all the skins. I mean, when you're running around with a Nicki Minaj skin, your shit is cooked, my guy.
Target because of how uniquely dog shit it is, I know. But if you go back in time to 2009, they dropped Modern Warfare 2, one of the best multiplayer games ever, in my opinion.
Here's my thing, right? For people around our age, we were low-key, right? Completely blessed. We were so blessed, right? That's like we got to, like, around that 2010, 2011, like, I was like, what, 14, 15, right? 13, 2014, damn, a long time ago, right? It's like that was like perfect time to be sitting at home playing all these great video games.
Then the next year, you had to get someone who's 18, go to GameStop, get Black Ops 1, totally new game, but made with love, dude. My mom always said the secret ingredient with any home-cooked meal is that it's cooked with love. And it's the same shit with these video games.
Like and sub for home cooked meal.
Bro, you look at COD now.
No. We don't. We run in a train. We're not gonna get you a home cooked meal. This is for this guy, Polly Walnuts.
When you buy a new one, you don't even need to download a new game anymore. You launch it up with the old game. You pay for a new game that has the same maps, graphics,
literally Call of Duty,
guns from the game that you bought already. Like, it's actually kind of funny. They're so creatively bankrupt, they can't even come up with new titles anymore. They're just spamming Black Ops, spamming Modern Warfare. I look at video games like...
Literally, Call of Duty is like prime example of nostalgia baiting. Every time there's a new installment of the game, they're like, here's a character. How much do you... I'm going to call it right now. How much do you want to bet that we're going to see like another Reznov, right? I mean, we've gotten all the Soap, the Captain Price, all these other Woods, all these Mason, right? They are holding out for Reznov. It's the last fucking fruit on the tree that they can pluck off and be like, you like that, huh?
Like I do books, movies, songs. It's art. I'm a fan of the medium of video games, bro. But in the same way that a lot of new movies, new books, new shows, even new music, the new shit that comes out now is just not hitting the same. And there's exceptions, but for the...
I think when it's like everything, I think that's almost probably your personal preference of getting older changes as well.
Most part, like to read a good book, it has to be an old book. To watch a good movie, it has to be an old movie. The classics are less stimulating, but they're less dog shit. And it's the same thing that's happening with gaming. It's just like reading or watching movies. You can sit there and consume the garbage. You know, the yearly 2Ks, the CODs, the Maddens. And if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. But playing those to me is like, it's like saying you read books or you're a reader, but you just go on Twitter and read tweets all day like a nut job. Like that's
Oh
the
my
definition of insanity. It's just doing the same shit over and over. You're expecting different results. But now it's like I've outgrown that. Thank God. Honestly, I'm here for quality, and I'm gonna get to this more. But it just seems like the quality has been dropping. One of the biggest misses by the
I think also something as you get older, like you recognize quality as well, right? Like if you're 15 years old and you're like, oh, this game is fun. It's like I don't think you can really recognize quality as much as you can when you're like 30. You know what I mean?
these publishers, these corporations, I feel like they think graphics are more important than the things
Yeah,
that
that's
actually
another
matter.
big thing
You know,
too.
it's like they think that as long as the game looks better than the last one, that's an excuse for it to have no swag, no story,
No swag,
no
no
personality.
no aura in that bitch.
I can't be the only one that doesn't care if the game looks like real life. Like, why are we trying to replicate the
And I'm really surprised at this. Like games have continued to go after like these insane graphics, right? It's like Fortnite. You know, you can call it like it was bad, good, whatever. I think Fortnite proved that graphics like don't really matter. You know what I mean? Like Fortnite's graphics are like nothing. You know what I mean? It's just like cartoony shit. It's not hyper realistic and this and that. It's like that right there. A lot of companies should be like, oh, like people don't really care about these like really good graphics anymore. You know what I mean? They care more about the game mechanics, the fun, like the gameplay of it. You know what I mean?
world that we use video games as a distraction from? Who cares? A ton of these games, because of this, are soulless, and they all look the same now anyway. You know, a game like GTA 4, for example, or Skyrim, they don't look real, and GTA 4 especially looks terrible when you look at it today, but there's a mood there, there's a vibe, and it matches the story, the personality.
Yeah, like I think a lot of times when you're playing a game, you're not like thinking like, oh, look how fake this is. It's like it's a video game. Of course it's fake. You know what I mean? Like I don't need hyper detailed stuff.
Of the game. And now, because the priorities are off, it feels like there is no personality in these video games now. You know, the graphics being better doesn't really matter because we're at this point where graphics haven't gotten better since like 2018. This is my
Yeah,
theory
there's a
that
hard
lot of
cap,
these
too.
goated, iconic franchises are dying, like COD, Skate, Saints Row, just to name a few. I mean, it's like, how did we go from Skyrim to Starfield? Starfield, bro. I had the flu when that game dropped, like the bad flu too. And I remember being so sick. I was out of work. I was literally at home, like hallucinating and shit. And I didn't have an Xbox, and I didn't have my PC yet. But I had been waiting so long for a new game from the people that made Skyrim that I was determined to play this game, despite the fact that I could barely move. So I went on Facebook Marketplace. I found someone selling a used Xbox on the complete other side of the city. I got my sick ass on the subway. And
Not
met
the
up with this
subway.
dude in the West Village to buy
Oh,
this
man.
Xbox, right? And I bought it, brought it home, barely breathing at this point, cold sweats and everything. Fired that shit up, and within an hour, I realized the mistake that I just made. Realized I would have been better off just hallucinating at home. I was shocked at how ass that game was that I literally had to research what happened, like how this could happen. From Skyrim
I'm not gonna say it too loud because then my phone's gonna actually pick up. And be like, okay, Google, why is this game buns?
to this slop. I was so mad that
Yo, ChatGPT, what's going on with this game?
I started investigating. And
Even
I looked into
even AI can't figure this shit out.
with the company that makes these games. Bethesda got so big, and then they got purchased by Microsoft. They became this huge corporate beast, right, with this huge budget and a massive team, and then they make this game 100 times worse than the game that they made with a small team, less resources, less money. And to me, it's like these are the consequences of corporate slop. When you start adding management and ladders and shit,
Like, oh, let me send that up the ladder. Let me circle back with that.
All of a sudden, you have a soulless game that takes zero risks, makes no sense, and has no swag. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, do you think that they were sending shit up the management ladder when they made No Russian in Modern Warfare 2? Or when they created the concept of Nazi zombies
Can we be in no Russian?
in World at War? Games are art, and in art you have to take risks. That's just how it works. And huge corporations can't put out art, bro. It's just
Yeah, you get too big and you got too many filters, and then you end up with like the most bland thing. You know what I mean?
not
Just too safe. You play too safe.
possible. So now,
And not to mention, I know I keep pausing the video, okay? But look at the gameplay, the simplicity of it, man. There's no sliding, there's no crazy ass movements, there's no like wall jumping around. This is the Call of Duty that if you just stop making new ones, just on God, like just remake them without all the sliding crap, dude. I'm not gonna touch this multiplayer where somebody can slide halfway across the map. Like I do not want to sit here and pick a game up and have to do like mental like gymnastics just to play multiplayer or play anything semi-efficiently. I do not want to have to sit here and like do the processing power. Okay, let me slide here.
that's my theory on why we're getting less and less art and more soulless slop. When GTA 6 comes out, that needs to be art. Like, you bet your ass I'm playing that game. I'm playing it for the homies that we lost in the 13 years that it took
13
them
years,
to
man.
make it. But honestly, like, I think that game will be a huge, like, crossroads for gaming. Because if that game sucks, which I don't think it will, but if it does, a lot of people are going to put down the controller for good.
Bro, GTA 6 is like Frodo trying to deliver the ring, man. One last chance to give GTA 6 time before we all quit gaming.
Rockstar has been one of the last studios that has consistently dropped art masterpieces that pushed the boundaries.
I
right?
heard was it Kickstart or not Kickstart? Whatever, the people who made GTA 6, I heard they were working on like a medieval knights game. I would really excited for that.
And it
If
seems
that's
like
true.
they abuse their employees to do it, but holy, do these games go crazy. But if this game
I don't care if they're getting abused. Give me a good game, all right?
mixes,
Maybe other companies will follow.
if the corporate kiss of death has infected Rockstar, and
Rockstar,
the soul,
there
the
we go.
swag, the writing, the quality isn't there, it's not gonna be pretty, dude. So that's something I think about a lot, especially with the expectations that me and the bros have for this game. I mean, I was 13 when the last one came out. I'm gonna be 26 playing the next one. It took them my entire lifespan to put out a new one, which is crazy. We'll see what happens. So you can see now that I think a big part of this is just corporate consequences, swings and misses made by companies that just are out of touch with what the people actually buying their games want. But another part of this is just me and the bros getting older. Like, I think my brain finally being fully developed plays a part in this.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I was talking to my friend about how just a few years ago, we sat there and grinded mastery camos on Call of Duty. Hours and hours for a camo on a game that now I couldn't even tell you which one it was, like Modern Warfare 13 or some shit. And I gave it hours of my life. I look back at that.
Yeah, I think when you start working 40-hour weeks, you start to realize how important your time is. And it's like, I'm not going to sit here and grind my hours away for a camo on a gun in a video game, right? That's like, in between, it's the point where it's like, you're not even enjoying the game, right? It's just purely out of, let me get this camo. Where it's almost become a job. It's like, I already got one job. Well, most of us do.
Now I'm like, what was wrong with my brain? How was I able to justify spending that amount of time for something that gave me nothing in return, except for a camo that showed everyone how much of a dweeb I was, right? So I've now become conscious of how dopamine loops work in these games. The rat no longer concerns himself with all the cheese. Like, leveling up and unlocking shit, it just doesn't really do it for me anymore. It doesn't satisfy me because I know it's fake. Once you look at life itself as a video game, you can never unsee that. 'Cause
Yeah,
the
that's
video
kind of a
game
big
has
thing,
few-
right? I think it was Andrew Tate that said, you know, these people will spend so much time leveling up their character in GTA, right? They'll spend all these hours leveling up their character in GTA and getting their money up in GTA, but it's like, but they won't do it in real life. I mean, maybe some people just don't know where to start, right? But I think it's all about that. What we talk about. What we talk about. You long-time ticket holders know. It's about being more vicious and more ambitious towards everything you're doing.
Does not translate to real life. I know I talked about how bad games are now and how a lot of these new games are just ass packed.
And look, I don't care what Andrew Tate says, right? Even a clock that's broken, you know what I mean? You're gonna piss me off.
But it's gotten to the point where I can acknowledge that a game is good now, even have some fun with it, but I still can't sit there and play it for hours. I just can't grind it. Battlefield 6 was the last example. I bought that game, I played it with a friend for a few hours. I was like, yo, this is fun. We're having fun right now. But boom, like clockwork, every time I would get on, after about 45 minutes, an hour, it's like, all right, what am I doing here? Like, I'm kind of over this. And it wasn't because it was a bad game. It would just be like, all right, we won, you know, I leveled up.
Yeah, I think as you get older, like the repetitions, like you can't continue to play something that's so repetitious, right? I think that's something that a lot of people shit on like semi decent games for is right. Oh, this game sucks. Like I hardly want to play it. It's not as good as the old ones where it's like, bro, when you were like 14 or like 12 years old, man, you could play the same thing over and over and over and over and over again all day. But now it's like I don't really want to play a repetitious thing like that, right? I get very bored with a repetitious thing. It's not even because it's like TikTok brain. It's because I'm just not like entertained about it.
Little, I unlock something new, but it's like this combination of guilt, but also awareness of time that hits me. And it never would hit me as a kid. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way, because if you look at the player counts of these new games, like everyone will gas up a new game on Twitter, be like, oh, this is gonna be the greatest game of all time. The hype is just crazy, right? But after a month, there's only a fraction of people still playing it. If you look up player counts, people are on to the next thing already. So now I usually don't even try anymore, to be honest, with these new games, especially the multiplayer ones. Like the last example was Arc Raiders. Everyone and their mother was telling me about
Everyone,
how
their
much
mother,
fun
and their
that
brother.
game is, this and that. You know, I looked at it, I was like,
Okay, Arc Raiders was at least new for. It was different for me because, not. I mean, after a while, it has. After hours and hours and hours of playing, right, much more than I'll play other new games. It's kind of a little repetitious, especially with the freaking proximity chat. If that game didn't have proximity chat, it would not even be talked about. But the proximity chat in that game has made it what it is. And because that helps with eliminating the repetition, right? You meet new people in there. You got new personalities constantly interacting. You got backstabbing. You got two-timing, all this stuff.
it's like there's two outcomes of me buying this game. One is that it's not that fun, and I'm over it after an hour. Like, the dopamine drip just isn't gonna hit for me. That's actually the best case scenario, because what's the other outcome? I like it so much that I get addicted to it. I just dump a bunch of time and energy into it. Like, the clock of life isn't already moving way too fast.
Okay, so his whole argument of why games suck now, and that's a good thing, is because he's thinking, I'd rather a game suck and I not get addicted to it so I can focus on real life than the game being good so I get addicted to it. So he's taking it out, hey, I'd rather not get addicted to a video game. I just know that dude's gamer tag is Osama bin Laden. What the hell?
Out another addiction. And I know this argument of
It's
as
across
long as
the
you're
screen,
enjoying
all the way
yourself,
over there.
there's no such thing as a waste of time. And I have to disagree with that, because I enjoyed getting geeked all the time back in the day, right? Not only did I enjoy it, but it felt like it was the best way to be spending my time. And now I look back at all that time getting geeked, and I can't even remember it. It didn't level me up as a person in any way. So what does that mean? It means it was a waste of time. And remember, I'm saying this as a true fan of video games, like not a hater, not a boomer. I grew up with this
It's like maybe the video games we've been wanting to play all along was the video game of life.
shit. And a good game, to me, especially a single-player gem, like the Skyrims, the Red Deads, the Cyberpunks, that shit is art, like I said. And enjoying a game like that is the same to me as enjoying a good book or a good movie. I'll die on that hill. Like, I'm not one of these guys that's been hijacked into thinking that every second of every day needs to be productive. And I would never say that gaming is a waste of time, period, right? But it is something I think about a lot because it easily can be. You know, where something like reading a book, in my opinion, can never be a waste of time because even if you're reading some garbage, at least you're slowing your brain down. Turns out there's levels to this shit that I didn't understand when I was younger. So video games, they can provide a true healthy break from all the bullshit of life. And this is a break that doesn't involve drinking or drugs, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing better than a healthy distraction, right?
Yeah, I think that's why, you know, you get tired of repetitious things in games, right? Just straight up Call of Duty multiplayer don't hit no more.
There's a different...
And you know what I mean? A lot of games, man, it's like, unless you're really competitive, some of these games are so fast. It's like, this is not relaxation. This is me sweating and working just to play this game, right? And I think it's kind of not geared towards older people. You know what I mean? That don't want to, that, you know, that work that 9 to 5, that work those 40 hours a week, or have a job, that have this. It's like, I don't want to get off work and then sit here and like I want my brain to relax. You know what I mean? De-stress. Not sit here stressed about slide canceling all this in Yahoo.
Between an escape and a distraction. We all need distractions. That's just human nature. No one's sitting here raw dogging life 24/7 with no distractions. But once a distraction starts to feel like an escape, at least for me, that's where I start to get into trouble, right? So, you know, just a few years ago, the highlight of my day would be getting geeked. And at first...
Getting geeked? Why he keeps saying this? It's like he's saying getting cheeked.
Distraction from the shit I was going through. And then it quickly became an escape. And I really do think a lot of people use video games as an escape in an unhealthy way. But on the other side, having something to put all your focus into is one of the healthiest things that you can do for your brain. I truly think that. Like, at this time where people doom scroll while multitasking, while listening to a podcast at double speed, while checking Twitter, while grinding camos, like, attention
Podcast at double speed is wild.
On one thing, as dumb as this might sound, is becoming rare. So in the same way that reading benefits me, you know, because I get to focus on one thing, playing a lot of these games does the same
beautiful
thing.
MP40.
But it's tricky, bro. It's very dependent on what you're playing, how much you're playing, and why you're playing. Because you can waste away days of your life. I've done it before. I know a kid who has wasted his life to video games. You know, you give bro a cart and an addicting feedback loopy game.
Yeah, guys, look, don't play addicting video games. Just watch. Just come and watch me stream.
And they'll be so dopamined out that they'll forget that their life is in shambles and they're making zero progress as a human being. It's free will, it's a choice, but it can get dangerous. Because when I was younger, I didn't realize I was making that choice. I was just like, younger me was fried. Bro would
Well, it's like younger, you can afford to make a choice. You can afford to sit around and play a video game all day. You know what I mean? When you're younger, like that's what you're like you're there for. I mean, not like you're there for, but that's what being a kid is all about, right? Is wasting time just doing things you really like. You know what I mean? To an extent, like you don't want to sit inside on a beautiful like summer day or you know what I mean, beautiful fall day and not ever go outside. But to an extent, right? A reasonable amount. It's like that's the point of being a kid is that you get to waste time doing shit you like. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's about.
Bounce from dopamine loop to dopamine loop, brain off. Part of the appeal to a game like COD is you can shut your brain off. Like when I'd be grinding these camos, loser maxing, I would just throw
Loser
on the
maxing?
podcast and turn
Holy
my
smokes, dude. We got everyone in this match. Look over here. Look on the left side. We got the big the JE. We got Osama bin Laden. Holy smoke. I saw Nick Fuentes in here earlier.
brain off. And you know, my new vibe in
Got
life
everyone-
is
Look at
keeping
this,
that
bro.
puppy up, keeping that puppy up and running, as opposed to just having it off all the time. Because it's never been easier to turn the brain off than it is right now. With scrolling, with social media, with
We're just
AI,
missing the
oh
guy
my
from World
God.
War II.
You can go through day-to-day human life, AFK, fully unplugged brain. And so that's why I said it depends what game you're playing. Because some of these games you have to sit there and focus and use your
Yeah,
brain.
mentally
Others
exhausting.
you don't. So it's situational. In the title, I don't even know what I named this, but I'm gonna name it something like "This is a good thing," and I'd be lying if I said I didn't yearn for those simpler days, right? I mean, look at the games that I play on this channel. I'll never forget that first online game of COD with the bros. But at the same
With the
time,
boys.
I think I'm happy with my relationship with
Wait,
games
that's
now.
just, there was that Harvey Weinstein over there too.
It's like I have a higher standard for myself than to sit here on some bullshit, grinding some bullshit, right? I don't have
The video's not even about what he's talking. We're just all watching the kill feed on the left side.
respect for these games that don't have respect for my time, right? So I'm grateful for that. And this isn't just with video games. It's like I don't use Instagram. I don't watch the garbage shit that gets pumped out on Netflix. I'm just done filling my brain with garbage all the time. You know, the yearly releases of COD, these sports games, these ultimate teams, like the slop just isn't as appealing to me anymore. And this isn't like some new breakthrough that I'm making. I think naturally you get older, you have less time, meaning the value that you put on the time that you do have is going to
Yeah.
be higher, right? So
Yep.
I really do think part of this is just me and the bros getting older, which is like, yikes.
I wonder like on a personal level, like what is this as this guy's talking, right? Mr. Paulie Walnuts. I wonder what he does enjoy in his free time, right? Well, I wonder what he has transitioned to when it comes to what do you enjoy in your free time, right? Like for me personally, like I love if I had a free day, like I want to like work on some wood projects, right? Some woodworking and stuff like that. I found myself really enjoying that.
But at the same time, when that new game does come out, because there will be good games to come out in the future, whether it's GTA or the next Elder Scrolls is probably gonna be ass, but whenever that good game, that art does come out, I'm gonna rip it. Like, I will take an
Hey, we're gonna
hour
rip
playing
that
a
whistle.
game with a good story, a fun video game, over an hour of scrolling TikTok or watching some bullshit on Netflix. I'm proud of myself that I can now distinguish what's slop and what's good in life, in all forms of entertainment. Like, for me, it's less about the specific games themselves, like the things that I'm naming, like COD and 2K. If you enjoy playing those games, hold on to that. Especially now, like if you can get enjoyment out of something, hold on to it. For me, it's less about the specific games and more about just being more aware of where my time, my money, and my attention goes to. Because when I was a kid, I didn't know that there was levels to this shit, to this consumption shit. I didn't know what reading a good book.
And it's like, that's okay. That's what being a kid is about. You know what I mean? To go a little off topic, that's why when you get older, you have to realize that when you become a parent, you want to give your kid the same experience, the same opportunity, right? It's important. As a father, as a mother, whatever, give your kid the same opportunity you had where you can sit here and do things you like and bullshit around. You know what I mean? Not doing degenerate stuff, you know what I mean? But being able to, hey, you know, waste a day playing video games, right? At the end of the day, it's like that's what being a kid is about, right? That or going outside, man. Like one thing I've always said, right? When I have kids, mandatory, I want a pile of dirt in the backyard.
Was like, or what watching a good movie was like, as opposed to watching
And if my kids don't play in it, I'm playing in that.
a bad one, you know? But what I really didn't know was the importance of my time, and that what I consume, what I put into my brain will have a direct impact on what I output of that brain, right? So time is money. They told us that, but no one told us that attention is more valuable. Attention is Bitcoin. There's a limited supply.
Bitcoin?
But we get to choose
What about
where we spend that shit.
Dogecoin?
So it's like,
Come
have
on,
the
please
games
go up.
changed or have I changed? Both. You know, I've gotten older. I can see the impact of greed and what that does to a product, but I can also see what it feels like to get played by it and to avoid it.
Yes,
and
sir.
That's why, like I said, I think at the end of the day, it's a good thing that gaming is the way it is right now. So let me know what you guys
Look, you're at that age. If you're around this age, it's a good time for gaming to be shite. I think that is what he's saying, right? Gaming was good when you were younger and you had free time. Now that you're older, you're not missing out on much.
think. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Anyways, guys, that is it. We're at the end of the line. The station is right there. You just have to step off the platform, step off the cart onto the platform. Don't forget, sub up. That was Paulie Walnuts. Sub up though to get your ticket, to get your seat. That is never. Once you get your ticket, make it quick. Once you get your ticket, you get your seat. No one is gonna sit in your seat, okay? For eternity, as long as that is subscribed, you have your own personal seat. Anyways, I'll see you all at the next station. Bye bye.